champ is here!
It's just a man!
Give me a hell yeah!
What the Rock is cooking.
To be the man, you have to be the man. Big Papa Pump, and you hooked up.
Fallen.
Holla, and the other.
Woo, woo, woo! Cup of coffee in the big day.
Oh, hey, everyone. Welcome to Working the Marks.
Mi gente.
I'm Patty Jr. Rican from Stratton Oakmont. And underneath me right now is Macho Rodriguez. He's never underneath me in real life. He's always on top, but not like that. But anyways, I don't know why I said any of that. Point is that Macho Rodriguez is on the show from Must Love Wrestling Podcast. The Canadian Rican connection, one half of the Canadian Rican connection is in the house. And we got Dee Rotten from Famcast Media Podcast Network. That thing gets longer every single week. I'm shocked we still haven't been sued for the intro. Mach, how you doing?
I'm good, Papa. I'm good. I'm excited to talk about wrestling. I saw with what's on tap here, so I'm excited to get into some of these topics.
D, how you feeling, pal?
All right, I'm feeling fat, bro, but I'm moving, bro. I'm moving and grooving.
Well, I would like to dedicate today's episode to Christian McCaffrey. That's it. I just want to dedicate it to Christian McCaffrey. Swell guy.
Yeah, stay healthy. Don't get overused. Yeah.
Yeah, don't get blown out. You know?
This is a pretty good triple threat between the three of us, man. You got Patty Rican, Macho Rodriguez, and Arn Anderson 2.0. It's pretty cool.
Damn, Barn Anderson right there. You know? So what do we got to talk about? Huh?
Oh, we got a lot of things to talk about here, Patty Rican. We got a lot of things to talk about here.
Let's kick it off, Demon. What do you got for us?
All right, man. We got Jade Cargill has been spotted in the Performance Center, and she's officially WWE.
Wow. Well, I think it's fantastic for one. She is one of the most talented young people in wrestling nowadays, and she belongs there. I mean, anybody who says otherwise, you're a little too much in the fucking tribe there with AEW.
She's not there with her hair too, bro. She's got short hair.
Yeah.
What do you think of Mach? How you feeling about Jade Cargill being in the E now?
I'm excited, man. I think pop culture-wise that she ventures outside of professional wrestling. I believe her husband is a baseball player, right? So we're gonna get, yeah, I believe so. And I think that we're gonna get like MLB, like WWE superstars going to MLB games and stuff. It's another way to, cross promote. I'm excited for what she means to professional wrestling as a whole. And I've said this before, and I'll say it again. She was not done a great service in AEW. She's always been a WWE talent who's just kind of been lost in the shuffle, she was put in the wrong company. People have poked holes at her wrestling ability, and I'm like, nah, man, she's a good worker. She's a decent worker. Right now she's working in indie market, and she's a professional wrestler.
Ooh, that's a low blow, bro. That's a low blow, man.
I like that. By the way, big shout out to Working the Marks top guy, Timothy Brown. Glad to have you with us again tonight here.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I mean, look, dude, I think anybody who has eyes that function saw her and said, holy shit, that's a superstar. She's an action figure. She's merch. She's everything that you really need to be a successful wrestler. I think that within WWE should be in a position for them to accentuate the positives, eliminate the negatives, work on the negatives, and put her in a position where she needs to be, which is, on TV, getting millions of people looking at her. Dude, like you said, cross promotion with MLB, baseball players, football players, soccer players, more on that later on. But, it's great. And it's great stuff for the company. And Endeavor obviously knows what they're doing. Endeavor understands what this means for them.
I guess we're going to find out if Endeavor knows what we're doing, because I know that you're a big supporter of a man that they might be trying to push out of the company. So I'm sure we'll talk about that soon.
We'll see.
But in terms of Jade, I really feel like one of the hardest things for any professional wrestler, especially at her development, is to be put out there with other people at your development level. She's always been put out there with green guys. You know what I mean? Now she's going to go to WWE where a lot of those women are pros. She's going to be put in there with people like Natty. She's going to be put in there with people like, Nikki Cross, Asuka, like people that know how to work her level of talent. So I'm excited for what we're going to see.
Well, I'm not totally going to hate on the AEW roster because there are some good wrestlers there. There's people that she had good matches with. I thought, even though the hype wasn't there with Chris Statlander, I get like where Tony Khan was coming from. His heart was in the right place. But I think that booking decision wasn't. I think, maybe having Saraya beat her or somebody like that, somebody bigger, somebody that's got a little more oomph to it. Even if Saraya is going to hold it for a fucking pay period, it doesn't matter.
We'll find out tonight.
Yeah. But I just think that, it wasn't, it was a good stepping stone for her. It was a good way for her to get exposure. But obviously the next level is somewhere else. And you know what? I'm going to call it on the show here. Rhea Ripley versus Jade Cargill at WrestleMania. I'm calling it now.
Well, I'm going to disagree with you there. I think it's going to be Rhea versus Becky. I mean, I know that.
Yeah, true. That is getting floated around a lot. You're right.
I know. What is it? Bovada odds right now has Liv Morgan as the favorite to be the Royal Rumble winner. So I guess we'll see what happens there.
They're going to have to reinvent something with her because look, she's incredibly talented. She's beautiful. She checks a lot of boxes. But for me personally, she doesn't have that thing. She doesn't have that intangible, that thing that Becky has, where people tune in just to see what Becky's going to do, what Becky's going to say, not just Becky wrestling, Liv is beautiful, but the character thing's just not there yet for me. But by the way, I just want to send a shout out to Stella Artois fishing for sponsorships here, folks. Stella Artois, delicious beverage. Hold on. Let me take a sip of this one right here. Hold on.
Oh, look at that. Beautiful.
That's a big boy.
Get your Wayne's World on. I love it. If I could just say something about Liv Morgan before we move on, I just want to say that I'm a fan of hers. I think she's good at what she does. And I've said this before, I'll say it again. She's not bad, she's not good, she's fine. And I like to look at it this way, I work a manual labor job and I got a penny pinch every now and then. So sometimes I got to go to Walmart and I got to buy that big fruity dinosaur cereal instead of buying like rice, like the actual fruity pebbles, but when I'm watching WrestleMania, I don't want that fruity like shit from Walmart. So what I'm saying is like, if you're going to give us Rhea Ripley versus somebody like Liv Morgan, then give us the OG, give us the expensive, like give us like Rhea Ripley versus Alexa Bliss. I don't want the Walmart version of Alexa Bliss at WrestleMania.
Oh,
well, I mean, hey, the man has a point. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're going to do this at WrestleMania, you're going to do this somewhere where this is going to count. You got to spice it up. You got to have something other than just the allure of, okay, they're wrestling. Yeah, that's fine. But like you need more for a big show like that. And I think, women's wrestling's under a lot of scrutiny online. I mean, I'm pretty sure you can agree with me on that one, Mach. Women's wrestling gets criticized, the booking, the lack thereof, everything is under a fucking microscope. And it's mind-boggling to me because I feel like WWE, outside of maybe Impact, books their women's division the absolute best. And they present the women where they are on par with the men. There's really literally no difference. They're superstars. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So that to me is just like a big part of it. You know what I'm saying? But I would like to see something interesting. I mean, look, if it's Rhea Becky, I'm not complaining, but I definitely think you got to think there's some big dream matches for Jade. And the two ones that jump out to me right now, Rhea and Bianca Belair. Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill would be amazing. Amazing.
100%.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, all right. So Timothy Brown here chimed in and said, what leaves Nia Jax in all of this? Okay. I'm a Nia Jax fan. I understand Nia's purpose. I think that she's interesting. She's realistic. She does a lot of cool shit. If I had to guess right now, I would think that they're going to do Nia and Rhea probably at Survivor Series. I would say that either Survivor Series or maybe the earliest this upcoming one, because obviously you got to mix it up. I mean, Rhea's fucking trashed everybody. She's fighting. It's like her against little girls. She's bullying them. What dream match would you want for Jade Cargill coming into WWE potentially, Mach?
For me personally, I want to see her work talent that can carry a match in case she can't do it. We don't know how far her development has gone. So I mentioned it before. I definitely want to see her work somebody like Asuka. I think that's a really good professional wrestler to have her in the ring with her. Natalia, I think that's a really good one too. Obviously, I agree with you. Rhea, Raquel, Bianca. Obviously, those are definitely the women that I feel like she would be better suited for. But if you want her in there with a good program for a long period of time, and you want to give her 4 to 6 months of a program, there's nobody better. There's nobody better than Bayley. She's going to get the most out of Jade Cargill. Yeah. It's just that simple.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think another thing too, because obviously everybody's excited about the wrestling possibilities and all of this, but for me, I think one of the biggest things that's going to be really cool is watching her character development, watching her promos develop, her facials, her mannerisms, her selling, everything, watching it kind of go and hit a different stride. The physical stuff, we already know that she's going to be able to do well, See,
there's one thing you guys are missing.
What?
She's going to come in, right? And everybody wants her to make an impact, right? A big impact. Take out the man. Take the NXT title. Take out the man and bring that fucking title up to the main roster, since they're switching and swapping, right?
Mm-hmm.
Come in, knock out the hottest wrestler in fucking women's wrestling today, who had the hottest match. Take her belt, and then go up to the main roster and say, "What's up?" I just took out Becky Lynch.
Five hottest matches in a row. Five in a row.
So here's the thing with that. All right, you got to finish kind of giving Tiffany the rub.
Yeah,
that's still kind of happening.
She had the rub. She went in the ring with her. That was
okay. I get all that, but at some point they're going to do some rematch. The girl's going to get one over on her. They got to kind of do it like that, unless they bring her up or whatever they're doing. I don't know, but you got to think that Tiffany's going to get a win over her eventually. You finish that up, and then I would like to see something like that. I think something like that would be interesting and an interesting way to bring her into NXT. But who knows? I mean, right now I think they're really just evaluating her. They're seeing what they got. They're seeing how much she knows, what she can do, what she can't do, what they need her to do.
Tapping her down to see if she got microphones on. If Tony's listening.
Bro, come on, man. Everybody knows what's going on at the PC. What are you talking about? Tony spying on her? Is that what you're saying?
Oh, I'm saying maybe Tony has a wire on her or something. They got to tap it down like, yo, check her out, man. Make sure she got no wires on her.
Nah, I doubt that.
Well, that guy, Raji Giri, he's actually stated that he believes that she's going back to AEW, and she thinks all of this is just to pump up her value. I don't know if that's true. I think that would be a big mistake if that's what happened.
No. That's absolutely false, because she's already at the PC.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? She's already been seen at the PC. That's false, man. And look, she spoke well of the company, right? Because everybody assumed, she's going to stay, like the positive comments that she put out about AEW, obviously considering its current state. You would think, okay, she's going to resign. She's going to stick around, right? And then she pulls this, and it's like, oh shit!
She went on her back, bro.
She's a professional. That's what that shows right there. And I think the fact that people like CM Punk gravitated towards her, Bryan Danielson, the fact that she was willing to listen to those guys, learn from those guys, that says a lot about her. That says a lot about her mentality. I think sky's the limit for her as a talent in WWE.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
So's the bank.
What do we got, D?
All right, next up, we got what we got here? Hold on, let me get the timestamp here. We got Endeavor wants to do business with Cristiano Ronaldo at the next Crown Jewel event.
Good friend of the show, by the way. He's been on the show before when the three of us were here together. I'm obviously not surprised. Now, this is because of Endeavor's relationship with Saudi Arabia, UFC, and obviously they want to do a lot of cross promotion. And UFC, I think now is bigger on that than WWE might have ever been. Yeah. And that's saying a lot, because I think WWE's really been into it. So it would be interesting, to see Ronaldo there. As a Ronaldo fan, as a Manchester United fan, it would be cool to see him there, or any athlete. So this is definitely something that I could see happening once they go back for Crown Jewel match. What do you think of stuff like this happening in WWE with Endeavor?
I mean, this is WWE to a T. Going back to WrestleMania 1, they've always had celebrities at the shows. what a great way to do it. Ronaldo is globally known. He's not somebody like Logan Paul, who's just mostly like United States based. This is like branching out everywhere. And they go to Saudi Arabia. This is going to be the 5th year in a row. Yeah. So, I mean, they do this all the time. I think that's great for wrestling, and it's great for football. I think it's going to be a good job, or football, however we say it. I want to make sure that, like, you know, maybe this leads us into a stage where we possibly get like Beckham into WWE somehow, or Messi. Like, I think this will be a really good. I think it would be a really like strategic.
My
move.
son would pop
like
for that. My son would totally pop for Messi being in there. Judah would totally pop. He would just lose his shit if Messi showed up in WWE.
Well, they're the same height, aren't they?
They just might be. They just might be. Yeah, no, dude, this is par for the course. It's par for the course, you know, and it's exactly what they do. And WWE has done this better than anybody else. Yeah. And Endeavor, I think, is just going to amplify that. And I just can't wait till the UFC fighters start coming into WWE, and you know,
100%.
So we'll see. What do we got, D? What else?
Next one, right? This was a long one, bro. Let me just finish this one. This was long. Vince McMahon.
You guys like how crude I am? I'm like, what do you got? What do you got?
No, I like it. I like
it. Fucking guy over here. But everybody's like, well, transitioning. You know, they're like, yeah, moving on to the next segment. You know, I'm just like, what do you got? Give me what you got. Let's chop it up.
I'm being treated like Umberto over here, bro.
Umberto? Never heard of him.
Yeah.
This next one's a long one, bro. Vince McMahon forced out Jacob Frankel, the chair of Dickinson Rights Government Investigations and Securities Enforcement Practice Group, and a former senior counsel in the SEC's Division of Enforcement, told the LA Times that McMahon could face criminal or even civil liabilities that may force him out of the WWE role.
Congratulations, you got what you wanted. Like, that's, I mean, come on, bro. Let's be real. Let's be real here, guys. You know, we're not going to sit here. We're not going to talk about these Mark conspiracy theories. We're not going to go down the fucking rabbit hole. And, you know, I read this and Meltzer said this and Alvarez said this and all these other guys said this and this guy and fucking, you know, no. Let's just call it what it is. They have been after Vince McMahon. There has been an agenda against Vince McMahon for a long time. And I love Vince McMahon. It's no fucking secret. I put the guy over on the show fucking constantly. But if he did fucked up shit, you got to face the consequences, man. You know, if he did something wrong and they find him guilty and culpable of doing something wrong, it is what it is. But folks, don't be surprised. He's a wrestling promoter, and wrestling promoters are sleazy people.
Yeah, I don't know how to say this. I'm going to come off as somebody passive here. I don't mean to do that, but I thought this was over. I thought we were done with this. You know what I mean? Nice, I like it. I thought it was over. I thought we were done with this. I thought we were to the point where, like, okay, he went through all of his stuff, all of his legal battles, and he had to retire, give whatever to Stephanie McMahon. And honestly, the only thing that ever stuck out to me, the only thing that never made sense to me was that Stephanie stepped down. That's the only thing that I still can't understand.
Well, she's a woman, brother. She doesn't like the way her father, probably, manipulated chicks and stuff like that and came back,
I don't know if that's the case or not. You got to understand, she's been around the business since she's a kid. She's been around sleazy shit since forever. So she knows what the business is about. And I'm pretty sure she knows what her dad's done. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, look. Am I crazy saying here that there's a fucking agenda against the guy? I mean, like, this isn't like tinfoil hat shit here.
Which
one? Yeah, I mean, it's not, I think honestly there has been a huge effort by a portion of the wrestling audience, journalists, everybody who have been trying to get rid of Vince McMahon. They just want to push him out of the business. One way or another, they want to find him guilty, culpable of some shit.
Of course, because now they realize how they figured out how to do the business. Well, some people figured out how to do the business like him, not everybody. Now let's get rid of the head dog, bro. We already know the blueprint.
Am I out on a limb here, Mach? Am I crazy? It's the tinfoil hat showing here or something? I mean, what
No, this
is
is not a conspiracy theory. This has been going on for a while. Like, I know you and I have had like personal messages back and forth about Vince McMahon, but those are personal conversations. We're not trying to berate the man on the internet. And it really feels like you have a lot of people, like you mentioned, a lot of names, and specifically I'll shout out the idiot from Hog Wrestling, JD from New York. That guy is really, really, like, when they posted that today, his tweet today was like, thank God.
Yeah.
Like, dude, seriously?
Why?
Like, can you not get yourself over? You work for a wrestling promotion. You can get yourself over other ways.
But I think he's a part of a portion of fans that enjoy wrestling differently, right? But I just think that they hate the establishment so much. They hate WWE so much, even though that's what they grew up fucking watching before they got into whatever Lucha Libre, World of Sport, New Japan, Ultimo Turiaman, whatever the fuck they pulled out, fucking DDT, fucking Chikara, all these indies all over the place, Jersey All Pro Wrestling, like, before they got into all that stuff, that's what they liked. And it's a part of the business. And I just think that perhaps their fandom has kind of stunted their growth intellectually and has kind of taken away their objectivity when it comes to wrestling. Like, they can't look at wrestling for what it is. They want it to be something else. And I think they get a little too stuck on that. And I think, unfortunately, look, JD has his fan base, for better or worse. I'm not going to sit here and shit on the guy. He's getting fucking views. He's doing things. Good for him. I disagree with him like a motherfucker, but that's the beauty of it all. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's been said there's actually a book written about it, and it's Controversy Creates Cash, and that's what he's doing. He's creating controversy so that way he can get views and he can get cash. I mean, that's kind of the way it is. I personally think that he's as bad for the wrestling business as Dave Meltzer. That's kind of how I feel about it. But
Interesting.
I just I don't understand what they service the wrestling business for. Like, all he does is like prop up AEW, and it's like, listen, I love Bryan Danielson, I love Kenny Omega, I love Hangman Adam Page, I love Swerve, like, I love those specific guys, Orange Cassidy as well. You could throw him in there. But like, if I wanted to sit down and watch an episode of Jackass, then I'm going to go on to Paramount Plus and I'm going to watch Jackass. I don't want to see that on Wednesday and Friday night. And then every now and then get a really good match with Bryan Danielson, because that's all AEW is. It's just it's a 2-hour episode of Jackass.
It's Sting!
Oh, yeah, well, no, he's the best. He's Mount Rushmore.
No, you don't want to go there with him, D. Like,
I love Sting. What are you talking about? I love Sting, bro.
That's his fucking dude. That's his dude. Matter of fact, funny story here, folks. When I first met this guy, it was Washington School, Union City, New Jersey, 7th grade. My second time in 7th grade, by the way. And I got kicked out of Catholic school across the street. But this dude comes in and he had a baby mullet, like a baseball mullet, the tightest jeans you ever seen in a human being, and a Sting t-shirt. And I was just like,
wait, which one? Wait, Crow
I was like, fuck this guy. Yo, I'm pretty sure, if I recall correctly, you and I were gonna fight each other that day.
Yeah, that day, first day of school.
I was like, fuck this guy, yo, coming in here with this fucking Sting t-shirt. Came in with the Sting t-shirt.
Wait, what's
Crow
Sting?
face? The Crow face.
Oh.
Yeah.
It was Crow. Yeah, it was the Crow Sting
with the autograph on the back.
Yeah. Straight from WWE shop, WCW shop. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. So, I was just like, fuck this guy. And then my cousin's like, yo, fuck this guy, bro. And then we were supposed to fight that day after school. And then we're like, yo, you want to just hang out? We're like, why we just started hanging out. We became friends.
Why this animosity towards him? Because of Sting?
I couldn't really speak English clearly back then. I had a pretty thick accent.
Yeah, I was a punty too. I think I might have had a mohawk at the time or something. I don't know.
I was definitely very confrontational. I came from an island where that reaction, like, oh, let's meet outside, that was a normal after school thing. Like, oh, you don't like me? All right, well, let's go bang out. And like in the States, I guess you can't really do that. But actually, we didn't become friends then, bro. Remember, I was walking around town by myself, and you and your mom were doing laundry at Pathmark. at the laundromat, and you came out and you were like, "Yo, what's up?" And then you introduced me to your mom. We went back to your place and played PlayStation.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, because
I watched you break Lara Croft's neck over and over.
Yeah, that's how I used to play Tomb Raider for a while. Yeah, that's right, dude. I'm sorry, man. I just, concussions and gimmicks. The mind's a little cloudy. With a chance of meatballs. But nah, man, it's wild though. It really, really is wild when you think about it. I've known this guy like almost 25 years now. Just about, right? Yeah. And we still don't look like
we
shit.
We were 13 years old.
Yeah, we still look all right, bro. We still look all right. Fucking
man.
Dave, you look like shit though.
Bro, fucking hair club for men and fucking hair dye works wonders for people, I say.
Oh man,
I don't know. I love you. I think you're an older cat, but at least you don't have to put on like window dressing like Umberto does. So it looks good. It looks good on you.
Oh man, that was stiff, man. Come on, man. Ooh. You giving potato shots like that on the air? Ooh, yikes. Jeez Louise.
Nah.
You guys should settle in an arm wrestling contest, like fucking over the top,
like real. Man.
I'll show up like your kid, bro. I'll be like, yeah.
He already got the switch turned, bro.
With the military school jacket and shit. Yeah.
He's got the switch turned already. Mach turned the switch already. He's ready.
Yo, but that movie's a fucking classic, bro. I don't want to hear it. You heard it here.
Fuck yeah.
You heard it here on Working the March, people.
He's got some great wrestlers in it too.
Fuck yeah. Over the Top's this shit. It's the
hell
shit.
Yeah.
Those fucking action movies, the late 80s, early 90s, fucking gold. Mid 80s to fucking early 90s.
Straight gold. Steroids and fucking baby oil.
I don't want to hear it, bro.
Absolutely.
I don't want to hear it. Don't at me, as the kids say.
So you got don't ever say that again, bro. I don't know what the hell that means.
What? I'm trying to be fucking cool. My kids are watching. Wait, actually, no, kids, you should not be watching this. This is a fucking lousy idea. Yeah, man. What else you got, D?
Yeah, man.
We got the next one. This is right up your alley, Macho.
Okay.
AEW on Max. Starting October 5th, AEW's TV partner in Warner Brothers Discovery announced they will be streaming live sports on its service. Max opening the door for a live AEW pay-per-view because they don't do PLEs. Events shown at a later date.
Hold on a second. Before he answers that, can we just like put a pin in this real quick? PLE, pay-per-view. Okay, I know a lot of people got their fucking knickers in a twist when this happened, and they were just like, "Oh my god, why don't they just call it a pay-per-view? Why is it got to call it a premium live event? This is a Vince McMahonism and blah blah blah." And everybody got all fucking mad, right?
Yep.
But if you think about it, it's really not a pay-per-view anymore. Pay-per-view. You are not paying $10 every time you watch a fucking PLE on WWE, right? You pay your $10 a month because you're not a fucking cheapskate. Like other people who've been absent for 5 weeks on this fucking show. You pay your $10 a month.
Yep.
No commercials. And you watch all your stuff, and you're technically not paying per view. Okay. I just wanted to get that out of my system because that one irks me. And I'm sure there's a lot of wrestling phrases that irk you guys, but we'll do a whole episode on that shit one day. Anyways, Mach, the floor is yours.
Yeah, so I'm excited because going back to the John Silver incident with the fan, we had talked about that off air, me and you, Pat, about attacking fans who don't make a lot of money. I mean, listen, man, I'm a butcher for 21 years. It was really hard for me
necro butcher
to have 2 kids. Yeah, no, it was really hard for me to have like 2 kids and to have to pay bills and do all that, and then to spend $100 on 2 AEW pay-per-views. I'm really happy that I was lucky enough to be given a code to watch the Bleacher Report for free, to be able to watch All Out. But if I wouldn't have been given that, like I would have been watching it like, on streaming services, like on my Safari. I wouldn't have been able to watch it that way. So I'm excited for them to go. I already have Max, so I'm excited for that. I have to have Max. My son's obsessed with Harry Potter. So I'm excited for them moving over there. I'm wondering what other sporting events are going to Max as well, besides AEW, because I don't think that they have enough product to put on there. Although I did see a part of that they were going to do one a month, right? So they're going to do 12 a year.
Yep. Sounds like somebody we know.
You know who has enough product? The Snowman. Come on,
before
man.
we move on from AEW, can I bring up something? I kind of wanted to talk to you guys about this. So Tony Khan makes the comment about how CM Punk and the fight with Jack Perry made him fearful for his life. It was the first time he felt like his life was in danger, right? So being that he's the CEO of the company, he's the owner of the company, what did you guys think of Samoa Joe kind of squashing everything he said there and just saying that it wasn't a high-tense situation?
Fire him.
Like, what did you – because I thought that was so strange, because you can have people go out there and talk on the internet to bash somebody like Big Swole or Jonathan Grisham, but then you just let Samoa Joe go out there and tell everybody like, oh, yeah, this whole CM Punk business, it wasn't that big a deal.
They're scared of him, bro.
Almost telling everybody like, hey, he shouldn't have been fired for this. It was stupid.
Well, look, man.
Samoa Joe's going to kill you, bro. They're scared of him.
Tony picks and chooses according to, I think, certain influences within the company. That's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
I think Samoa Joe is a pro. He's a vet. He's been around forever, and he understands that these types of situations, these types of hostilities sometimes between the boys, it happens. It happens. You're dealing with grown men and women. They all have their own egos. They all have their own shit, their own lives, their own thing that's going on. And they're all desperate to try and get to that next level. Each and every one of them. Even the ones that say that they're not. They all are. Because that's what the opportunity is for.
That up a level.
So
body and soul.
I think this incident, John Brandel, good evening to you as well.
Hey,
I think these incidents, like, I think this is something that's just blown completely out of proportion, dude. I think this whole thing is blown completely.
Yeah.
Where's the videotape, bro?
I side with Joe and I side with Punk in this. I really do, and I think that they're right. I think that they're right, man. You know, that's it. They were disrespected.
And to be cool.
Well, I mean, Punk was disrespected.
And to be quite honest with you, Samoa Joe is the perfect talent to come out and talk about this, because Samoa Joe has said this in an interview most recently on the Kurt Angle podcast, where he actually had a CM Punk moment himself in TNA. Yeah. Scott Hall was missing a lot of shows with his substance abuse. Samoa Joe went out there. He cut a promo to the live audience, live on Spike, about Scott Hall, and he came to the back and he said him and Kevin Nash almost came to blows over it. Nash was really upset. So Samoa Joe knows what it feels like to be the guy to start the controversy by opening your mouth, and then like seeing the reaction be so ridiculous towards him, right?
Yeah.
I think he's the perfect guy to say something. I just find it odd that Tony Khan allowed that to happen.
I mean, again, Tony picks and chooses, I think, his battles and when he gets involved or when he chooses not to get involved. And I think in this instance, you're not going to fucking leash a dude like Joe. Joe's a fucking OG in the game, bro. Joe has more respect in the business than Tony.
Absolutely.
Let's be fucking real here. And that's not a knock on Tony Khan, yo. Tony Khan's doing a good thing. He's employing a lot of people. He's putting people to work. He's giving people a chance to get exposure to potentially move on to something better.
Yep.
That's what he's doing, right?
Absolutely.
Whether he does it well or not is subjective, but I think that there's a lot of irrefutable evidence in the form of numbers that say otherwise and say that he is not doing good. So, you know, yeah, I just think he can't leash him, dude. He can't say anything to Samoa Joe. And it's good that Samoa Joe comes out and talks about it, because I think that plays more into Punk. And I think that plays more into the situation and the matter of the fact that nobody's life was in danger. Tony Khan got yelled at because he's a shitty boss. Let's be honest.
Yep.
That's what fucking happened. That's what happened. All right. CM Punk got mad at these fucking guys because it's a collective effort. And they tried to push him out of the company. They tried to get him pissed off, but he wanted to be out anyway because he was tired of it, because he didn't like the lack of structure.
Only certain people want to like talk about the real information. Like we've seen on multiple podcasts, Foley's podcast, Eric Bischoff's podcast. The only reason Punk inserted himself into that glass issue was because people in the top brass of AEW asked him to go talk to Perry.
Right.
So
And
people
then,
keep saying that.
But here's a little known fucking fact as well, is that management approved it. So ultimately it did get approved. It did get approved, but they tried to intervene and they tried to get a veteran to talk to him. I'm pretty sure Punk talked to him and said, you know what? Fucking do whatever the fuck you want. I don't care.
Yep.
I gotta go. I got other shit to do. Then he went and he did the other shit and probably paid it no fucking mind.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden this little shit knows, and Punk sees everything that's on there. They all do. He sees everything that's on there that's written about him and Perry. And then Perry goes out there and says that shit. This little shitbag who's probably been disrespectful to you in the past, who's probably been disrespectful to the business in the past. I don't know, man. I think it's pretty plain to see what the situation is. And I think that they want it to be their club for their people and their thing. Yep. Anybody who's an outsider to that can't play nice for a fucking paycheck, that's that. It's interesting too. Just one last thing here, but it is kind of interesting in the fact that, you look at certain indie guys that were big indie guys, like indie legends, right? Certain indie legends. And I'm not going to really name any or anything because, again, I don't know what their personal situation. This is just simply an assumption, I guess. And, I might make an ass of myself on this one, but I think that there's a reason why certain big name indie guys haven't signed with AEW and are not working for AEW in some type of capacity. And I think it's because there might be a certain culture that they don't want to be around because they might have to punch somebody or slap somebody or choke somebody.
Agreed. I would like to name a name. I can tell you right now that's why Brandon doesn't work there. 100%. I believe that's why he doesn't work there.
But Key's a very unique case, man, because he does what he wants. He does what he wants. He doesn't care. He doesn't give a fuck.
But if you watch his last match with El Vikingo, right? Mm-hmm. It's very clear that even at like 46, is that what he is now? Even at 46 years old, he can still fucking go.
Dude, his technique was impeccable. It was fucking amazing, bro. The way this guy could take bumps over and over and over and over again, and it still look exactly the same, and him still bump the way he's supposed to. He never really hurt himself working, and he did a very stiff style, man. He did a very high-flying style, a very hard style, and he never really fucked himself up too bad. I think it was just more wear and tear in the long run, but as someone who saw him train in front of me, and I'm pretty sure you did too. You saw him at the school too, because you were in the JP school. Anytime you saw him, bro, he commanded a certain respect. There was a certain air of him, a certain air to him.
So what you guys are trying to say is low key kick somebody's ass.
But he could. He could and he would
100%.
if the motherfucker wanted to. But on the same token, he's the most professional of all professionals. And I think his seriousness is really what made him. And to me, he's one of my favorites all time. He's somebody who I respect immensely. And he is who he is,
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to when we get off here, I'm going to send him a direct message and ask him if he would like to come on the show with us and have a conversation. Because I feel like we've brought him up a lot recently.
Sure. He might low-key
being that we're
DM
big
you.
fans of his and stuff. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to DM him.
Yeah.
Definitely tell him we're not talking politics because I don't know if you follow him on Twitter. He's definitely very political. But we could just
he's entitled to his beliefs. That's all. As long as he ain't setting nobody on fire, it is what it is. I'm working the marks here. We believe that people could believe in whatever the fuck they want. Look, Fernando's on the fucking show. All right, y'all know what Fernando does. But that's my homeboy.
Which one's Fernando again?
Fernando is the Umberto known as Fernando, no, whatever. But Fernando does what he does. Oh, the guy who
Hollywoods his hair.
His is separate. His is separate from what we do here. Yeah. His is separate from what we do here. We ain't got no political affiliations. It ain't about that here. We're chopping it up about wrestling. You want to watch his political stuff? Go watch his political stuff. You don't? Then don't. I don't care.
Yep.
But over here, we don't give a fuck what you believe in.
Word.
We're talking about wrestling. You want to talk about that shit? Go somewhere else. That's all. And Fernando's our guy here on the show. So
yeah. I love him.
What do you got, D?
That sounded so fake, Mach. I love it.
You're such a shit stirrer, I swear, bro.
What, man? Look, we have the same color hair. I mean,
Not
mine
you.
is natural, his is painted
Listen.
on. It's all good.
Listen, I'm not gonna get in the middle of this. All right.
I just complimented his hair. What the fuck?
I work for Stratton Oakmont. I'm a professional.
Got it.
So, D, what do you got?
All right, here we go, man. Next one up, Randy Orton has been cited at the Performance Center. There's been Randy Orton sightings at the Performance Center.
Nice. Mach, what do you think?
I think this is great. The first person that came to mind was Matt Riddle. This is great for Matt Riddle. It's a guy who kept them in check, who was able to pull out the version of Riddle that we've all been wanting to see for a long time. So if he comes back to the business, I want him to have certain matches, maybe like with Cody. Definitely want to have like that little, one-off there. Give him and Cody a little couple-month feud. I definitely want him to come back to pro wrestling. I would love it if maybe we got a little gimmick where Drew McIntyre finally turns heel, turns on Riddle, and when all things are lost, here comes Randy Orton to save the day. I think that would be brilliant. Great way to bring him back. Then he doesn't come back to like a full in-ring work, like one-on-one, but he can come back to tag. Tag is a little bit easier to work than it is like actually going in there and working, an entire, like you definitely have a guy in Riddle that's going to take all the bumps for you. I think it's smart. I like it. I'm excited. Wrestling has missed him.
Absolutely. He's certainly one of the all-time greats. I think he's a dude who, took the diamond cutter somewhere else, made it his own thing. And I mean, now it's interesting what you just mentioned to me. Do you think that they'll keep the tag team around longer or they'll just jump into the feud? What do you think?
The tag team with him and Riddle?
RK Bro, yeah. Do you think they'll kind of go back to them to being good again and then Randy turns on them? Or do you think that's too obvious and they lead to it somewhere else? Or I don't know.
All right. So if the reports wouldn't have leaked that Randy might have been forced to retire, I think that they could have broken them up right away. Had Randy go out there, work one wrestling match with him, betray him right away. I think it would have worked right away. I just think that the fans right now, they're not going to boo him. He's going to be too over.
No,
that's what I think is going to hurt the story.
He is. I would be interested to see like Drew turning on Riddle, right? Riddle getting kind of like back. Randy comes out and Randy fucking like RKO's fucking Drew but tease him and Riddle, but like everybody, because if you do it right out the gate, I mean, okay, fine. But like, really, like, come on, man, like, build me up a little bit here. So look, regardless of whatever they end up doing, I think they're going to do it well. And either way, it's great to have Randy Orton back.
Absolutely. Yep.
No.
What are you, not a Randy Orton fan?
I'm a fan of this. There's more people that need to be out there than Randy Orton. You're retired now, bro. Get your Hall of Fame ring. Go teach the dudes in the back.
But wait a minute. I mean, you don't at least want to see them finish up this thing with him and Riddle?
I think Riddle's out the door, bro, soon.
Really?
He's fucking up, bro. I think he's out the door, bro.
I don't know, dude. I really don't know.
He's hanging out with the snowman, bro.
Yeah, but I think that shit that happened at the airport is an isolated thing. And I think it's something that got blown out of proportion. I mean, shit like that used to happen back in the day a lot. So I don't know, man. I just think that you're gonna keep the guy there. At least do something with him and Orton. Come on, man. You're bringing him back. You left it hanging.
They leave a lot of things hanging. They leave a lot of things hanging, bro. They leave a lot of things hanging, bro.
Yeah, okay. Think about it. How much sense is it gonna fucking make to bring Randy Orton back and not even have him address Matt Riddle at all?
What, and say, just look at him like you're a fuck up.
You know what I'm saying? That makes no motherfucking sense, bro. Because people.
It only makes sense if Matt Riddle gets let go before he comes back.
True.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Right. That is the only instance where I think it would be acceptable.
Truth.
But I don't think he's gonna get released. I think they've been waiting for this. I think this is it for him.
Well, we got JB wanted me to ask you a question, bro. The other day, I told him to wait for the show. He wanted to know, what do you guys think about WWE? Are they going to Disney?
Mach. I think you take this one first.
I mean, didn't we really talk about it on the last show where we talked about that it makes sense for Disney because they could have like their own like Hall of Presidents, their own Hall of Fame there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. I think that's great. Yeah, I mean, we talk about that in the archives. You guys can go listen to last week's episode.
You know what? The only thing that leads me to believe that maybe they might not is because they haven't done anything like that yet. Amazon's done a lot of live streaming shit. No. Disney hasn't really done any live streaming shit. I think like maybe one thing or something like that. I mean, it was like some musical shit or something, right?
I don't think their network's strong enough, bro.
Well,
December 31st, every year they do the fireworks live countdown. That's it.
Okay.
That's all that I know.
That's the only live thing that they do. I don't know. I mean, it would be a hell of a way to fucking debut it. It would be a hell of a way to debut it. So John Brandel asks, so did they sign a contract?
I think he's thinking about them bringing over the network.
No. Nobody signed anything with Disney yet. I don't know how long the deal with Peacock
SmackDown
runs
or something like
NBC
that.
Universal. I don't know about that, but that's a licensing thing. They're only licensing the library. That's it. Like they're using the library. Like WWE still owns it, but they just dish out a licensing.
Well, don't expect to see ECW if Disney gets it.
Why not, bro?
What are you talking about?
They already have Daredevil series on there and all these other fucking rated R shows.
Yeah, they got the Daredevil, the best Marvel show ever created, The Punisher. That series is on there.
Jessica Jones.
Yeah, Jessica Jones. That's a good one too. And there are some really like controversial stories in season 1. Of Jessica Jones, so they have that, and they have Deadpool and Logan.
Yeah.
So I mean, it'll be fine.
Yeah, dude, it'll be fine. It'll be fine, my gente. What else you got, Demon?
Fit Finlay's son has got a try. Borgen Finley's got a tryout.
Borgen.
Yeah, Borgen.
That is fucking mad Irish.
Yeah.
Is it Borgen or Brogan?
Oh, Brogan. I'm sorry. My dyslexia kicked in. Brogan Finlay has a tryout contract for WWE.
Borgen.
If he's anything like his father, let's do it. If he's trained with his father, if he's anything like his father, let's do it.
He needs a little person with him. That's it. He needs a little person with him next to him.
Nah, he doesn't need that. Finlay was perfect by himself.
It, bro. I PC'd that.
He needs a mullet.
And a shillelagh. What do they call that? A shillelagh?
And a unitard singlet. That's what he needs. A mullet and a unitard singlet.
Some Lucky Charms.
I like it.
Yeah.
Bring him in. Bring in Fit Finlay's son. Let's see what he could do. Hopefully he doesn't turn out to be Scott Putski and he actually turns out to be a good professional wrestler. You know what I mean? And, I'm sure he's got the look. I'm sure he's going to work really crisp. There's no way his dad's going to let him sign with WWE and he's going to be like, really bad. Like
he probably looks just like his father.
Bro, Scott Putski. Remember that shit, yo? His fucking kneecap. Brutal.
In his short amount of time, he was still better than Ted DiBiase Jr. though, so it's all right.
Poor Ted, huh? You think he's gonna start wrestling in prison? Like they're gonna have a fucking a thing going there. He's like, I'm the prison champion. I'm the $1 million prison champion. Fucking.
Hold on, I'll show you a picture of Brogan right now.
Harsh.
I'll show you a picture of Brogan. Pat, you
Borgen. I like the Borgen. Sounds like he would have been in the Oddities. Look
at this guy.
Oh, dude, he looks like fucking Dave.
He looks like Vampiro.
No, he looks like Dave Finlay. He looks like his fucking brother. Yeah, he looks just like him. He also kind of looks like Spanky a little bit.
I bet
where are you? Where is he?
He's the guy in the spikes.
Yeah, that's him.
Oh, I thought that was Paige.
He looks like he looks like Soraya if they made her an AI to be a guy.
Yeah.
I'd put him in the
bottom there.
I'd put him in the what do you call the Judgment Day ASAP.
Let's see what he got. I mean, have him work in fucking NXT. Have him bulk up. I'll be honest, man. I'm kind of excited to see what NXT is going to look like in the next couple of years. Because
absolutely,
you got Brian Pillman Jr. there. Let's see what he can really do. Let's see if the kid really applies himself and fucking gives it a good shot. And he fucking
his look, Brian Pillman Jr.'s look. And the way he talks on the mic, I didn't even care how good he was in the ring. I was already a fan. I was like, I got it. I love your dad. I got it.
You don't think
let
he
me
went a
see
little
that.
too much and maybe trying to be like his dad? You don't think like he went a little over
Maybe
the
his dad
deep
took
end with
over
that
his
shit?
body, bro. His
All
dad's
right.
soul came in and took
I
him
will
over.
answer that question, and I'll pose you a question because I know we got to go soon. But I want to tell you, I do think he went really far being like his dad, but for the fact that we got such a shortened career from his dad, don't you think that we deserve a little bit more Brian Pillman time? So if like this is like a rehashing of that, let us get it.
I think that's reasonable at the very least. However, I feel like there should be a development before they get there. I feel like him, like, you know, the fucking, what was it? The Varsity Blondes. I mean, come on, man.
Well, I mean, as
Give
AEW
us-
developed,
That was the fucking
Give us
shit.
the Hollywood Blondes,
Yeah,
man. Give
but-
him a good tag partner and give us the Hollywood Blondes.
You know, fucking Griff Garrison, fucking like,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, like, come on, that was the shits, dude. All right, that was
We
the
don't need
shits.
that.
But even with the fucking loose cannon shit, bro, like, it's never gonna work for anybody else, man. It was fucking Brian Pillman and his voice. His voice was such
I
a
don't
huge part of
know,
it.
Pat. Juice Robinson is he's doing the loose cannon gimmick right now.
Juice is kind of doing like a hybrid of Macho Man and the loose cannon a little bit. That's really what it kind of reminds me of. It's like Macho Man a little bit. Juice to me is very talented, but again, it's Juice is like an over the top character. That's what makes him great. Brian Pillman, a lot of it was the voice. It's like Randy Savage. You know, if Randy Savage didn't have that fucking voice, would he really be the Macho Man? Would he really be as great as he fucking was? Maybe, but the voice was a big fucking part of it. No, if Brian Pillman sounded like me, he wouldn't be what he became.
I agree with you, but a guilty pleasure of mine is watching wrestling on mute. I really enjoy just watching the art form of wrestling, and I can watch Randy Savage wrestle anybody.
Sure,
and think that it's amazing. I don't need to hear him say, "Ooh, yeah." You know what I mean? Like,
okay, interesting point you bring up there. Okay, a nice little fucking segue here. Cody Rhodes, right? He was talking about how people remember promos more than matches.
Yes.
Is that how you feel? Do you remember promos and segments more than you do matches, or do matches mean more to you?
No, I think that's a big part of why we're such great that we're so good and our connection is the way it is. Because you're a guy who loves stories in professional wrestling. Right. I'm a guy who loves the inside of the ring stuff. So I've never been. That's why you're a Sean fan and I'm a Brett fan because I like the wrestling part.
Both garbage. Oh yeah, you're a Luger fan. Oh, in the back. Isn't that the back pose? Didn't you do the back?
Isn't that Raquel Rodriguez? What the fuck? Anyway, but yeah, no, I'm definitely one of those guys. Like, I'm not going to say I'm not a fan of Story, clearly. Favorite wrestler ever, Sting, and without his character, he's not over. He's just like, you know,
well,
but
you know what? I like what Bret Hart did in the ring, but I just liked it when Dynamite Kid did it better.
I mean, that's kind of how it was. Yeah, agreed.
Missing link fan here, John Brandel. Wow, that's kind of a shot. And you know what? I kind of dig gimmicks like the missing link. I was a huge Sabu fan. I fucking love the Sabu gimmick. I love the craziness of it, the fucking screw, the fucking pointing up, you know, all this shit, the fucking tape. He was so innovative for fucking high flying. Him and fucking Van Damme. But I mean, Sabu was just like, I really love the gimmick. I thought that was an excellent one. Very much in the vein of like Bruiser Brody, guys like that. You know, fucking. You heard that? I said that like I'm living in PA. Bruiser Brody. You guys have a funny accent out there, by the way.
Funny.
And we just all sound like Sopranos characters here. So, but
Bruh.
But yeah, I'm a big fan of gimmicks like that. D. What do we have? What is our main event topic today?
Oh, we got one more.
All right, we got one more from John Brandel.
One more, man. We got one more.
Because we got our guy in the street, Mach, man. You know, and he's
Owen Hart.
He's at a raid right now. He's actually a
son.
state trooper out there. But
Owen Harts' son said he hates professional wrestling, but AEW feels like home.
I mean, look, he's
they kissed his family's ass enough. That's probably why. You have the Hart Foundation light over there. You have a tournament dedicated to his father. I mean, clearly it's going to feel more like home when you have the company representing you the way it does, but no.
Yeah, but Uncle CM Brett's gone, so
yeah, I strongly disagree with Owen's son. I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, look, I'm not going to tell the kid how to fucking feel. He lost his dad to wrestling, unfortunately. So,
well, he lost his dad to an accident.
It was an accident, but his dad was wrestling. His dad was wrestling. It was a result of wrestling.
It wasn't Vince's fault. It was that company's fault.
What's that?
It was that company's fault. It wasn't Vince's fault. It was that company's fault.
No, but I mean,
They had shitty fucking
what was he fucking there to do? Be a fucking part of a tickling contest? No, he was there to fucking wrestle. You know what I'm saying? So I mean,
True.
That's I understand why he feels that way, and I'm not gonna tell a kid who lost his father at a young age how to feel about how.
Well, he's a grown man, bro, and he could fucking see and understand, what happened.
It still hurts.
Yeah, absolutely, still hurts.
Still hurts, man.
But to call AEW your home, really? Like,
look, man, that's where he's felt welcomed. His mother and him and his sister have feelings towards the WWE, and look, there's a lot of stuff we don't know that probably went on behind closed doors. But you know what? Kid's entitled to feel how he wants to fucking feel. That's what I'm saying.
100%.
You know.
Well, the main topic for today.
The main event.
The main event.
Is this a double main event? Now, here's another term I fucking hate. Double main event. There's no such thing as a fucking double main event.
Nope.
The only way that there's a double main event is if you have two rings with two separate matches going on at the exact same fucking
That's
time.
called a War Games.
No, not really. But
I have to disagree with you a little, Pat, because I think you and I both really enjoyed that Fully Loaded with the triple main event, right?
Yeah, but that's marketing, Lou. That's fucking marketing.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So I think in terms of a one-off, like, oh, that's the marketing for it. That's good. But for them to continue to do it, no,
No, it's
oversaturates
marketing.
the word main event.
Yeah, it's marketing, bro. That's all it really fucking is. There's no such thing as that. Like, but anyways, that's my inner Larry David.
All
okay.
Right. Well, tonight's main event is The Rock, we all know, came back to SmackDown, and he broke the internet, bro.
Absolutely.
Broke it.
Yeah.
Let me say right here. This is right here. According to WrestleNomics, the latest episode of SmackDown was watched by 2,569,000 total viewers and drew a 0.70 rating among 18 to 49-year-olds.
The floor is yours, Senor Mach.
107 or 109 million downloads on YouTube for that clip alone of him returning. I mean, people want to hate him as much as they want to in all different forms of media, whether it's the Maui thing, although he looks super uncomfortable there with Oprah. That looked more like an Oprah thing. You want to hate him because you felt like he ruined the DC universe. Okay.
Yeah.
You know what? As a fan, hate him. Send him back home. I'm okay, because in wrestling, we'll accept, we will welcome him back. We'll take him back with no questions asked. And it was clear. The internet was, I'm serious, go back and look before SmackDown. The internet was angry at his interview with Pat McAfee. Oh, he's trying to tell people that Cody only got that spot because he bailed at the last minute. Which, Pat, you were on that shit for the whole year. You knew that the main event was supposed to be Rock versus Roman.
Yep.
Then it didn't happen, and we got the story, finish the story. And everybody was angry. And then guess what happened? At about 8:07, his music hits, and the world fell in love with him again, because that's what he does. He's the fucking Rock. The most electrifying man in all of entertainment. He's that over, man. He makes you feel like a kid again. Yeah. I can't watch him and not be a mark. That's honestly how I feel. He came out, and I remembered getting off the plane in November of 97 and my dad being like, Louie, you got to watch this guy with these fucking monster thighs. This fucking Jerry curl. I wish I had, Louie. This fucking Jerry curl. You know what I mean? And I was just like, what? So he made me feel like I was sitting down watching wrestling with my pops. I loved it. And I got to watch it with my son. Yeah. So it was awesome. It was like a full circle moment.
Yeah. Yeah, no, man. A little known fact about Mach here. Back in the day when we used to fucking wrestle at the park on 44th Street down the block from my cousin's place, he would always call Rocky Maivia. He never called The Rock. This is before The Rock, so he's an OG Rock fan. He would always call Rocky Maivia, and he did the Maivia Hurricane, and he spiked me on my fucking head. But that's all right. We were babies back then. Yeah, no, dude, I 100% feel what you're saying. I watched it with my son. I didn't get to catch it live, and my son catches everything. And he's like, Dad, The Rock came back. I'm like, yeah, that's awesome, and I'm excited because like for kids his age, Arthur's age and stuff like that. All these kids' ages, man, like that's fucking big. That's fucking big, bro. Because all they hear about from their dads or their uncles or whoever put them on to fucking wrestling is like, yo, The Rock, Steve Austin, the NWO, Sting, you know, fucking Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, you know, all these guys. And these kids are like, oh man, oh wow, you know, it's gonna be great. And now for them to finally get that, really, really cool. It was such a well done segment. Everything
Absolutely.
about it. Everything.
And I want to point this out, and this is no knock to John Cena because I understand what he means to professional wrestling. The Rock got Austin Theory over in a way that John Cena wasn't able to do for his WrestleMania match. That was the best time I've ever seen Austin Theory on the microphone. He looked like $1 million in there with The Rock, and he actually looked like he belonged. I thought that was one of the best segments that I've seen, but if I'm touching on the kids real quick before you go again, the reason The Rock matters to children that we like, you know, kids like our kids' age is because he stayed relevant. Because he's Maui in Moana. They heard him. He raps on the Pat McAfee show. He does the "You're Welcome" song.
Oh, dude, so, like, the fucking song like, too.
I love
it's
that
about
song.
Drive. It's about power. It's the hungry.
Yeah. That's not it. But but that's. I mean, that's what I mean. He stayed relevant. That was the thing. Like he didn't just go away. He's in Jumanji. Like he did kids movies. He's a smart businessman, and what a great way to come back to professional wrestling for our children, for people our age, for people Dee's age, for people, what's Umberto's like 84, for people Umberto's age. I mean, it's really, really great for all ages. He's transcendent the business. Like that's what he does.
I agree, dude. You know, I feel what you're saying, man. I got a little emotional too, like watching it. I was just like, wow, like I felt this thing that I don't really feel anymore when I watch it, but it was just so great to see him out there. And, you know, look, man, there's been a lot of great talkers in the business, but I think he's the best. I think he's the best. He's the fucking best. Him, Roddy Piper, guys like that, like they never cut the same fucking promo. Like, yeah, they have catchphrases. They have stuff like, well, Roddy never really had like catchphrases or anything crazy, but you know, like he had a lot of quotable shit. But like Rocky, man, like he's like a fucking freestyle rapper. You know what I'm saying? Like whenever he cuts a promo, he's like the greatest jam musician ever. Like he just goes out there and he just fucking entertains the fuck out of people. And even now, having this long layoff, bro, like you never forget these things. The way he took his time with the entrance, he let the fans soak it in. He didn't just rush to the fucking ring for no fucking reason. No, take it in.
He could definitely teach a class at the Performance Center on pacing alone.
Now here's an interesting question for you, Mach. I know we're running down on the window here, but you mentioned John Cena, right? And you said that, you know, John Cena was not able to do what The Rock could do for him in that segment. What do you think it is that John Cena is lacking with the audience that the perception of Theory is now greater with The Rock than it was with Cena losing to him?
They can't say.
Oh, I feel like this is going to make me out to be a Cena hater, and I guess to be truthful.
No, you are not a Cena hater. You actually told me that story about you, John Cena. You know, when you met John Cena. So
at the Middlesex Diner in Carlisle, Pennsylvania. That's right. No, what I will say is, I feel like John Cena's always been the type of guy that whether he tries to or not, he's the guy getting over the most in the ring. There's certain people that can work with him that can get themselves over, like The Miz or Daniel Bryan or CM Punk. But when he's in the ring with anybody else, he's the guy who comes out on top. What we know about The Rock, dating back to his feuds with Foley, he always gets the guy in there with him over. That's been his thing. It doesn't matter if he takes a loss on halftime in the Super Bowl and they put like a forklift on him with a pallet just to pin him to get him to say I quit. He's going to do it. If he's going to job to Goldberg, that he should have never lost that match, but on his way out, he loses to Goldberg. He puts over, it was his idea. This is from Brock Lesnar's mouth. It was his idea to drop the title to Brock Lesnar SummerSlam. I think that's the difference, Pat. He always wants to give back to wrestling, and other guys like John Cena, Hogan, these guys, they want to take as much as they can from wrestling.
Interesting. I mean, I don't know what he's like backstage. I think later on in his career, John Cena was a guy that really gave back a lot to the business. But I think for me, at the end of the day, the biggest thing I would say, and just to close this segment of the show out here before we say goodnight, I just think that the biggest thing about John Cena was he didn't get over organically. You know what I'm saying? You go back to John Cena, I think he was organically getting over with the heel rapper gimmick before they switched him into that white meat baby face. And once they switched him into that white meat baby face, I feel like they ruined his ability to get over like organically, like the way Steve did, like the way Rocky did. And I think that those guys got over organically. And I think that means more to the fans in the long run than the way John Cena got over, which John Cena just got over time because of respect, because of what he's given to the business.
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree with you there. I can't disagree with anything you just said there. I mean, you look at what The Rock has been able to do and what John Cena has been able to do. It definitely feels more so that The Rock means more to professional wrestling as a whole too, you know? So that's just my take on it.
Fantastic. Folks, he is Macho Rodriguez. He's having a fucking cigarette right now, okay?
I'm doing what I can do before I get in here.
But thank you so much, man, for being on tonight, man. We appreciate you. One half of the Canadian-Rican Connection, and from the Must Love Wrestling Podcast. I'm sorry, I fucking botch these names all the time. I used to call his show In the Dungeon with Stu Hart for fucking years. But we might have lost Mach there though, but it's from the Must Love Wrestling Podcast, the Canadian-Rican Connection, my brother from another mother, Macho Rodriguez. Much love to Macho. This is like his wanted photo.
Sure, you know.
It looked like your wanted photo there for a second.
Oh, I like it. Yeah, hopefully I'm wanted by some sponsors. Let's go. Let's get in there.
Yeah, like Stella Artois and whatever cigarette you're fucking smoking right now.
Yeah.
But no, man, thanks so much for being on tonight, man. We really appreciate you, man. We appreciate your input, man. And you want to drop any socials? Want to plug anything before we let you go here?
Yeah, man. If you guys want to follow me on the TikToks, follow me. It's Boricua Lou. It's BORICUA.LOU. Come talk to me on there. I'll pretty much talk about anything. And follow the YouTube channel too, Must Love Wrestling. Absolutely, like we could post every week, try as much as we can, and hopefully next week we can get you guys on our show, and we can move on from there.
I would love to. I'm keeping my Tuesday night open.
You need more. You need more Phoenix King. More Phoenix King.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. All right, guys, I'm out.
All right, man. Thank you so much. Love you, brother. Take care, man. Yeah, man. Great to have Macho Rodriguez on here from the Must Love Wrestling Podcast. I was checking out their episode last night. Give them a follow. Check them out. Write them some stuff, man. We love to have these discussions here on whether it's Working the Marks or Must Love Wrestling. Any of these shows that you find here on Famcast Media, we love to chop it up with people, though, and we appreciate all the support and all the love. D, you've been awful quiet there in the corner tonight.
Oh man, just a little tummy ache today, little tummy.
Oh, dude! By the way, shout out here. I saw Johnny Riffs today on Burger Line, and I shouted him out too. I said, "Johnny Riffs!" I rolled down the window. I said, "Johnny Riffs!" And he just looked. You know, he had the hoodie on. He looked like a fucking Sith walking down.
What the hell was he doing up there?
I don't know.
He lives in Pennsylvania. You might have seen a doppelganger.
No, it was Johnny Riffs, dude.
Really?
It was Johnny Riffs.
Shit.
It was Johnny Riffs. I saw Johnny Riffs.
He always tells me he always hears his name being yelled out out of nowhere. He's like,
unless I'm having a fucking flashback, I don't know. I mean,
he said he heard somebody scream his name out once when he was walking past. He was walking past the bar by your house.
It might have been me. It might have been me. But yeah, no, man, lots of great stuff tonight, man. Great shit to talk about. And we appreciate everybody who checked out the show tonight. Love the interaction, man. Write us, tell us what you think. Tell us.
Yeah, I left the thing on IG, but nobody. I was like, hey, you got any questions? But nobody had any questions.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think
people are scared, bro.
We got to kickstart the heart there. You know,
we got to stop liking and start asking.
Correct.
You know,
correct. Well, folks, thank you so much for checking out the show tonight. We're gonna get the fuck out of here. D, anything you want to plug before we say peace out, bruh?
just make sure you guys like and subscribe. Everything working the marks, man. Like the YouTube channel, man. Subscribe and everything, and just check everything out, bro. You guys know the gimmicks.
Yeah, man. And give us a follow on Working the Marks. Check out the child actors too as well. It's _child_actors. We're on Instagram. We're going to be playing some shows pretty soon. We potentially might have one early October as well as October 14th. I think it's called the Soiree Macabre, if I'm not mistaken, by WTF Productions. Okay. And we got a great lineup of bands that are going to be playing there as well.
Aside from
the child actors.
Who came up with that name? The Rock?
Yeah, The Rock came up with that one. But we'll be plugging that on our Working the Marks socials. So check that out. Hopefully next time fucking Fernando will be here, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. I went and I contacted all the almond milk providers, and I gave him a picture of Fernando. I told him to throw him on the almond milk cartons and see if maybe we could find him. I went by his house. I was trying to see if I could ask for him, but I couldn't get in range of the electric fences. Wow. So yeah, hopefully Fernando will be joining us sometime soon. But D, it's great to have you. It's great to have Macho on the show. It's great to be with you. He is Dee Rotten from the Famcast Media Podcast Network. And I am Patty Jr. Rican from Stratton Oakmont. And every week here on wherever the fuck you watch this, we are working the marks. Take it easy.
Good night, everybody.
Famcast Media.